Sup everyone, XQW YLO W82 ADC here. Today we're racing at Spa Francorchamps for one of the Nations Cup races. So as we can see, an all Viper grid car field in this race. And a standing start as well. Fun starting in P3. In P6 we have JJ Balding. Fake Taxi in P8. We're starting in P12. PG Motorsport in P14. Hasten in P16. And Team C Weto in P19. So a standing start for this one. Let's hope that we can get away very well. As looks like we don't have too much wheel spin and immediately go up one position. So trying to defend the inside right now. So braking a bit early so that we don't make contact with the cars in front of us. And yeah, it looks like we managed to keep our position still into P11. So coming up to the radio right now, Eau Rouge actually, and yeah, just ran a little bit wide, yeah, a little bit cutting of the track there. So yeah, just mainly because of the cold tires, and we get a half-second penalty out of it. So yeah, that's quite correct, I would say, because we cut the track a little bit. So you can see PG Motorsport going for the move, and also the Spaniard Blackout with the black car, seems like, also overtaking us. So back down to P13 because our slight mistake. So let's try to keep with the cars in front of us as much as possible. So important to know as well is that we have to use 3 different compounded tires in this race: softs, mediums, and hards. So will be very crucial to see how that will play out, as we decide to go onto the medium tires for the start of the race. So we're going to see how this pans out, and let's see what kind of tires the other cars have used. So let's try to stick with the cars in front so that we can maybe get a longer stint and use the soft tires more to the end of the race. But yeah, still half a second penalty, so let's hope that we can put a little bit of a gap to the cars behind us so that we don't lose another couple of positions. So right behind PG Motorsport right now. Seems to pit, so it seems like he had the hard compounded tires, and also someone spinning into the chicane. So up to P10 we are already. So yeah, also in these kind of races it's very difficult to know where you are at the moment. You just have to see how this will pan out in the long term. So best you can do is try to get a strategy which don't get you too much hold up to the cars in front of you. And if you are faster, really try to move quickly, as we are coming up to the penalty zone right now. So serving our half second right here. Seems like we're just quite quickly serving that penalty. So the other cars must have had a much more severe penalty as us. So right behind JJ Balding, so he defends the inside a little bit to try and keep his position, which works for him. So let's try to stay as close to those cars as we possibly can. As behind us we have OK Rocker. So you can just see his lights appearing on the back of our car. And it seems like they're growing even larger, so that's not a good sight to see. So it seems like he's a little bit quicker than us. We're not going to fight this too much and letting him go. So we're just going to assume that he is on the softer tires to not hurt our ego too much. So if someone is faster in this race, you just blame it on a faster compounded tire. So down to P9 we go. So yeah, you can clearly see that the German is quite a bit quicker than us at this moment of the race. So let's try to stay in his slipstream and try to gain some time back to the cars in front of us. So it's mainly, we mainly have to bide our time here a little bit to wait until we get onto the softer tires to really make our moves in this race. So as we're driving on our home track as well, so let's try to really push for a good result. But yeah, we're still a long way back. Not the best qualifying this race we had, so really something I need to work about qualifying. I always want to push too hard in my qualifying lap and I always make a mistake somewhere in the lap, so yeah, I always try to do a little bit of extra, which just misview the apex, so by just braking a little bit too late. That always cost me a couple of tenths, which is very crucial in these kind of races. Can easily cost you like 4 or 5 positions, so that makes your life a little bit harder if you're starting that far back. So you can just see Blackout returning onto the back of our car, so we're going to blame the soft tires once again. So you just make a small mistake and he closes in very rapidly, so as he seems like he's trying to go for a move on the inside of us, we're just going to let him have it and not battle too much. We really want to stay as close as we can to those cars in front of us. If we start to battle too much, we're really going to lose a lot of time to them, which will be very hard to catch back up later in the race. So I can just see how much quicker he is through the corner, so we're going to guess he's on soft tires. Or he's just a better driver, that would be also a possibility. It seems like he also have a half-second penalty. So we're going to try and stay as close as we can. So really good that we are behind him at this point of the lap, so that we can benefit a little bit from his slipstream. So let's try to stay in the slipstream. So probably we're going to pit on lap 5 or lap 6, somewhere between that moment of the race. So coming up to the radio right now, you can't just not believe how steep that corner is. As you just visited in real life, you can just see just how steep it is. You really can't believe it. So you can see the Spaniard there serving his penalty as we close in on him. But we're just going to brake a bit so that we don't try to make a move on him, which will cost both of us time. So let's instead try to stay behind him and follow him in his slipstream. If we have tried to overtake him and he had to overtake his back, we would have lost some time once again. So our main goal here is to try and catch up back onto the back of P8. Because it seems like the German also had softer compounded tires, I guess, and it seems like he's stuck behind the cars in front of him. So yeah, that's a huge risk you take if you start that far back and you immediately go onto the soft tires. You can easily get stuck behind some cars. So yeah, sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't, so you really have to be lucky to not get stuck behind some cars, because it can really cost you the race. So on to lap 4, seems like we're dropping away once again to the cars in front of us. But yeah, our time will come later in the race, I hope. As we see the French guy into the pits. So yeah, this Francorchamps track, really a track with a lot of elevation. It doesn't seem so much if you're seeing it on this game or in real life, but I can guarantee you it's quite a lot if you visit it in real life. Very steep hills, especially this one. So yeah, also a track I visited quite often in real life, so yeah, also one of my favorite tracks in the world. Yeah, also a track where you can easily make overtakes happen, so a lot of good racing action as well here, I would say. So we're coming into the more twisty part of the track, where it's very difficult to make overtakes happen, but having grip here is very crucial to get a good lap. Especially in the corner that we're coming up right now, the double left-hander. Very crucial to get a good exit out of this corner, to get as much speed as you can. I would really say you lose most of time in this corner of the lap, in the double left, the previous. That's really the most crucial part. So it seems like we're quite staying with the cars in front of us, so maybe their soft tires dropped off a little bit, or they're just on medium tires, we don't know at the moment, but still good to see that we're quite staying close to them, so that we don't lose too much time. As our medium tires starting to wear out a little bit, but not too much, so we could just do another lap. As we can see a lot of cars into the pits. Seems like they all had red soft tires on, so that's very good to see. Seems like we stayed quite good on the rear of them, even with our medium tires. So up to P4 we go. We're going to pit at the end of this lap, because so that we can still get 5 more laps out of those soft tires and do our hard stint at the end of the race. So we're going to try and get track position in this race. So as we could see, a lot of cars coming out of the pit lane, so it will be crucial to try and stay in front of them just before we're going to do our pit stop. So fresh tires, they're going to be very quick right now. So yeah, if they're going to catch up on us and trying to pass us, we're going to lose a lot of time. So we really have to try and get into the pits before they have a possibility to catch up on us. So yeah, just you can just feel the pressure then, as you can see the cars behind, and made a small mistake. So let's try to still get the most out of those tires. You can see the Spaniard behind us also had a small penalty, it seems like. So let's try to get a good exit out of those cars. Oh, they're just right behind us right now, so yeah, that will be very difficult to keep them behind us. Onto the long straight right now, so there might be a possibility that they just managed to overtake us right here, but we have to be very cautious because we have to try and make the pit entry as well, so we don't want to be stuck on the outside, so we're going to defend the inside for the next corner to make sure that we get our pit entry right, so that if someone sticks it up the inside we can't go into the pit lane. That would be quite annoying. So into the pits we go. So it seems the Spaniard behind us had the hard compounded tires. So going on to the softs right now. Out to the pits and just get overtaken by the Spaniard. That's not the best place to be, because we want to have clear track ahead of us. It seems like the British guy just decides to start back in behind, luckily, because we have soft tires. We want to make this overtake happen as quick as possible. So we just get the slipstream. It seems like the Spaniard doesn't defend too much, so luckily for us we managed to go up to 9th position. And we make the overtake stick, so that is very good for our race. And also very positive is that we have a large gap in front of us, so that means we can really push and try to get back to the cars in front of us. Yeah, that is kind of the thing we needed with those soft tires, so that we can take maximum advantage of them, as we just had some ballers there. So yeah, always very difficult if you get from used medium tires onto the soft tires. Feels very different. The car steers a lot more quick, so that's always very difficult in the first lap, I would say, to get the turning points right, etc. So it seems like we're gaining a lot of time. Just see us close in a little bit to the German in front of us. So yeah, now the tables have turned in this race. As the first 6 laps we were struggling a bit for pace, and now we have the pace to catch on them, so now we have a small advantage. As we can see, flow riding, seems like he just made a little bit of mistake and got put back on the track. So some more pit stops and onto P6 we go. So it seems like this race is going pretty well for us. Yeah, we still need to go onto the hard compounded tires, so let's try to build as big of a gap as we possibly can. So quite a large gap behind us as well. So we can really get our head down to gain some time to the cars in front. Yeah, as well, these Vipers, absolutely great cars. Love to watch them race in America as well, in the IMSA competition. One of my favorite cars there. Absolutely stunning they look. As well as the Corvettes, also great cars. So it looks like we're just coming a little bit closer once again. We could also see P3 into the far distance. Yeah, not at this moment, but a couple of corners back we could see him. Just in the far distance, P3. Will still be possible to gain a couple of positions in this race. That will be quite good, because we started quite far back, so quite a good comeback already to P6 and maybe more still in it. So onto this downhill section right here. So you see P5 and P4 also in the far distance, quite together. Maybe they start battling as well. So yeah, here in this more corner section, we'll probably gain most of time because of our softer tires. So this will be the part where we gain the most of time probably. So you can just see it's coming closer little by little. But yeah, time is running out a little bit because at the end of lap 11 we'll have to come into the pits for the hard compounded tires. So if you want to gain some more positions, we'll have to do it quite fast, or we can't waste too much time, I would say. So it looks like we've gained a lot of a big gap to the cars behind us. So that's a bit more breathing space for us to do our pit stop at the end of the race. So it will be very crucial as well to not lose too much time to manage to come out on those hard tires in front of the cars behind us, hopefully. So yeah, right now we're getting very close. I think right about into the slipstream range, or no, I don't think it's quite a slipstream range, but just out of it as a German, quite close to the back of a fake taxi. Yeah, just a bit too far off, it seems like, to make a move for him. So let's see if we can maybe try to make a move on those guys into the next lap. As our soft tires are also starting to wear out a little bit, but it seems like we're still faster than the guys in front of us, so still good, I would say. So coming close to the back of the German. So he just makes a little bit of a mistake. So we're right behind his back bumper. So he goes to the outside and blinks us by. So that's very good racing there by the German. It's the same guy as that we have let gone past in the beginning of the race. So that's very good sportsmanship by him. Very good to see that. Very good racing. Very nice to see, and so that we don't lose too much time, we could just going to flash our lights to say thank you to him to let us by without losing too much time. So up to P5 we go. P3 is still in our sights in that far distance. Yeah, not so very far, but it is far for to do one more lap to try and pass him. That will be quite difficult, I would say, as it seems like OK Rocker was on the normal compounded tires, so that's why he was a little bit slower this time around compared to the beginning of the race. So right behind fake taxi right now. Can maybe make a move after the Radeon. Right behind him, right in the slipstream right now. So let's see if it will be enough to make the overtake happen. As he defends the inside, we go to the outside. Going to try and brake a little bit later than him here, as yeah, it seems like we just managed to do it. Around the outside we go and up to 4th position. So yeah, that is a bit of a disadvantage. If you try to take the inside of the corner, you also have to brake a little bit earlier because your line gets tightened up a little bit. So yeah, it also have a little bit of a disadvantage to really try and defend the inside, but he didn't defend too hard, I would say. So yeah, up to P4 we go. So very good stuff in this race. As you can see, P3 ahead of us. Let's see how close we can still get to him. Maybe he has to stop as well, so that we are still on the same strategy. So maybe we can still do something to get on the podium. Let's see. Yeah, let's see how the strategy also pans out in this race, because a lot of different strategies can still be played out, because we still have to stop. Maybe the others won't have to stop. So we're going to pit now for our hard tires. We really need to defend then if we are on the hardest compounded tires, so that we can still keep our position. It's very close in the pit entry. We also almost got into the barrier there. Onto the hard compound we go. Seems like we're coming out in P5. Yes, this race worked out very well for us, I would say. Especially because we started in P12, so made up a lot of positions. Still quite a big gap to JJ Balding, so it will be very difficult for us to catch him. But as we can see behind us, a large group appearing there, so yeah, that will be still very close for us to still keep our 5th position, because if they are on the soft or medium tires, they will close in very rapidly. So still not over yet this race. So we really can't afford to make a single mistake here. Still have to be spot on. So just see them close up a little bit. Let's hope we can keep the gap big enough for them to not get into the slipstream on the long straight on the final part of the lap. Small bit of a time loss there. It seems like the gap is big enough to the cars behind us. It seems like the Spaniard ran a little bit wide. So yeah, it seems like we secured our 5th place. Also, good race by PG Motorsport, because he got up to P3 with using a different strategy. So good race done by him as well. So coming up to the finish, so seems like we're going to finish this race in P5. So yeah, very good race this one. Really enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye.